Dark Hero Gauntlet tutorial. This is made of 22 gauge stainless steel and 20 gauge brass. Very cool design and a very fun build. It's actually not that hard to do this one. There's not that many parts compared to other ones, so a little easier there. You also get that sharp finger look without having the issue of not being able to hold an item. So grab your hammers and let's get started. Download the template at the link under the video or go directly to armortemplates.com. Here's the glove I got. I think it was $13 from Amazon. Pretty good deal. This is just some leather I had laying around. This I'm going to sew to the bottom of the glove to extend it to attach other pieces later on. So we're going to sew right here. This is leather needle, but a regular needle will work as well. Here it is sewn on. Now cut the pieces out of the template and trace them onto metal. I suggest building it in paper first though, like always. That way you can make changes before you commit to metal. Cut the pieces out, and here they are. This is the hand part. Usually I call it the knuckle plate. We're going to be bending these ends, but not straight like this, at an angle on both sides to match the angle of your hand. So you can bend this by hand for the most part, and then using a hammer, just kind of touch up the corners to bend them a little bit further along. You can keep checking against your hand to see if it fits. We're also going to be making a crease right here. Just keep that in mind as you shape. I have a little gouge here in this piece of metal, and this is, or piece of wood, excuse me, and this is a masonry chisel. And I'm just going to place this thing here and carefully line this up and hit it. Gives us a nice straight line right here, as you can see. And using a hammer in the vise, I am just kind of curving over some of these parts to make them fit my hand a little bit better. Not too bad of a fit. I'm also going to the trouble to round these edges a little bit more. You've seen me do this in other tutorials. It just gives it a much finer look. I did this with all the parts that I could on this gauntlet. Some parts are a little bit difficult, but you can skip this part, but I really suggest that it's not that hard and it really makes a big difference. For some of the parts you can use the seamer tool to make a nice crisp edge. You can find that tool in any home improvement store in the gutter and downspout section. I'm also rounding this part a little bit afterwards to match the curve of my wrist. And like before, I'm doing the edge rolling just a little bit to give this piece a little bit more, just a heftier look. You can see I've got a little line scored here. This is to use the seamer tool, and I'm going to bend this part over. You've also seen this in other tutorials of mine. This just gives you a much straighter edge, and it reinforces it to make it much stronger. Bend the rest of the edge over with a hammer on a flat surface, and there you go. Now I'm using a piece of exhaust pipe, and I'm just rounding this part, which is called the van brace. Compare all the parts together, make sure that they all fit together properly. You'll notice that I have this edge at the front lined up just perfect, but the back is a little bit long, so no big deal, we're just going to trim that off. Using the same process as before, I'm going to make a nice long straight ridge down the van brace part. This is a little bit more difficult to get perfect, but keep on working on it and you'll do fine. Match the parts up. As I did this, I noticed that the curve is fine, but this part here needs to be filed down just a little bit because it was just a little bit too close in one spot. So all of your parts will need to be touched up like this as you go, because every time you bend a part, it's going to affect the shape interacting with the next shape. So keep that in mind. This is the thumb base, just shaping it against a little piece of pipe here, and this is the thumb tip in my little jig, which you've seen before. Do a little extra shaping and then put these parts together and see how they work. Needs a little bit more work here, but you get the idea. Here's one of the finger plates done the same exact way. Also, I'm using the masonry chisel to make this the point a little bit more sharp there. Not really, but a little bit. It does make a difference. Here you see me trimming off some of the metal that's in the way. You'll have to do this from time to time. I have a little bit of a sticking problem in this spot, so I'm going to trim that a little bit more and grind it. You can also round it like this. Make sure the fingers are floppy like this. You don't want it to be sticking at all. Here I'm rounding one of the 4 little pieces that go on top of the knuckles and giving it a little ridge as well. That's a piece of rubber I have, just stiff rubber. Here's some nails I used. You might want to use roofing nails. These heads were a little bit thick. Using this tool, we're going to stick the nail through and then cut it off, so just a little bit sticking up, and then we're going to make our own rivets out of it, as you see me doing here. Also going to rivet on the accent piece on the van brace the same way, and I use copper rivets to rivet hinges on. Here's where we rivet the finger base. You want to put the hinged part right in front of your knuckle and rivet the finger tip, not at the tip, but back here. Here I've got some marks on the glove, kind of hard to see in the video there, but I know exactly where I want this finger to be, and I'll just gently mark a little spot on the glove, then remove the glove, and then pop a hole in it. This is a roofing nail. You can see how flat the heads are. You also want to stick something heavy inside this finger, or else this will not work. Rivet the fingers on like so, and then this is where the hand plate will go after you have the fingers on. Glue it on with 5-minute epoxy, and the same with the knuckle plates. I have some paper in there to stiffen it so I can push against it and glue it on. Now I have the van brace that I am going to rivet using the 2 holes in the sides right to the leather that we added before. And it's really that simple, nothing to it. I was really happy with this build. I think this is my favorite Gauntlet yet. As you can see, it looks really cool. Looks a little bit like anime or something. Just something awesome to put on your wall or wear at a Comic-Con or whatever you want. I think it's pretty cool. Just look at it. Awesome. Find me on Facebook at facebook.com/armortemplates. Make sure to give the page a like. Also, check out my website, armortemplates.com. Check out all my other templates. And make sure to check out all my other videos I have here on YouTube. Make sure to share, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.